Hi Simon, just maybe tell me how the team's trained over the last couple of days and general mood in the camp.
Mood's good. We stayed in the K Club yesterday and did all our bits there, which was good. So it was a good prep day for today's session, and mood's really good. And the lads have trained well today. I've literally just run across from the training paddock now, so it's a good session.
When you reviewed the Australia match, I mean, at the time there was a hat-trick, there was 6 tries, good atmosphere. When you reviewed it, was there more of a sense of the level Australia were at and how different you expect next week to be?
I don't think so. I think Australia have actually they've gone well during the Rugby Championship. Maybe there's been a bit of inconsistencies, and they're at the end of a long season for them. They've done a lot of travel, but I think we've beaten a good side. We saw how they grew into the Lions series and then into the Rugby Championship, where they went away from home and beat teams. So I think we'll certainly take the positives from the game, but also understand we need to get better each week. And I think we've been doing that across the series of 3 games so far, and that'll need to be the case this weekend against South Africa.
How much what's good about South Africa, their physicality and their intent, how much does that change how Ireland approach an international? I mean, is there more focus on neutralising them than it would be if you were playing a different team?
No, I think you understand that they have strengths that other teams don't have, and you've got to find a few weaknesses as well. So we need to be better at what we do with and without the ball. That includes our physicality. It includes the ability for us to stop a team scoring tries when they get into our 22, which we weren't good enough at on the weekend. So that's international rugby, and it doesn't matter who you play. The physicality has to be a given.
Simon, how are Gary and Josh going? And obviously people play well in the positions they play in, so does that add a bit of fire for them? Yeah,
for sure. But it's been a good weekend for them, I guess, in terms of getting through what they needed to do in terms of their rehab, and they've hit the ground running yesterday and today.
Obviously, I've got a few guys who were ruled out of this window, like Hugo. If you'd have got to a nice place now with competition for.
Yeah, I guess players like Hugo, who has been the mainstay in the 15 jersey for a good while. It was great to see Matt return on the weekend after Jamie's injury, and I think there's other guys as well in there that have trained really well in that position that we could call upon. So I think, I guess this period has given us in a few positions the opportunity to build some more depth, which is really important 2 years out from a World Cup, and not just in the 15 jersey, but in other positions as well.
Simon, just picking up on that with Mac, does that almost give you a bit of a problem? Were you surprised at how well he performed in that position, or not at all?
No, Mac has, and I know he's had a bit of time out, and he attacked the Lions tour like we knew he would, and then he picked up an injury and had time out. He got himself back and was looking sharp for Connacht and got injured again. So he's a fabulous player who brings the best out of himself, but also those around him, and he's able to play in a type of way that Goody, Faz, and Johnny want him to play for the team, and it showed on the weekend how good he can be, not just on the attack side of the ball, but in the air, and his work around the pitch, and was a real, I guess, credit to him the way he came back in and performed. And got the hat trick as well.
Just touching on the line out as well, something that has been under scrutiny. Do you feel you're making progress in getting that better?
I think the line out has been good. Obviously, when you have a good line out, it gets targeted, because sides will feel like if they take away a source of possession that creates opportunities for us in attack, then they're going to try and put some pressure on it to try and affect the quality of that. So, Paulie and the players and the line-out leaders are working incredibly hard to fix a few issues, but it's not not a major concern. It's something that we feel we get it right, and it is more often than not very good. Both sides of the ball. The defensive line out has been outstanding so far. We've taken away opportunities for opposition in all of the games we played in, and again, it's credit to the players and Paul the way they work. And some days you're gonna there's so many moving parts of the line out. I know you guys will look at it and go lost. Inconsistent or delivery poor, but there's so many moving parts to a line out that and that's that's part of the responsibility and the challenge to get it right. But I think in terms of the way we feel it's going, I think it's certainly going pretty well, and we're comfortable with where it's at.
Just finally from me then, does a win over South Africa make it a successful series overall, or a loss maybe go the other way then?
I wouldn't say that. I think there's there's other things to factor into this series. What you guys spoke about around the building depth in the squad, the challenges of going to Chicago, spending time away, dealing with that loss and building resilience in the squad. It's not always going to be perfect. You're not going to have it your own way all the time. It's how the group have responded from the disappointment of Chicago, of the game itself, has been outstanding. And I think there's been plenty of open and honest conversations in the group. And it's no better challenge than South Africa coming to the Viva on the weekend for us to see if we can put a lot of those things into practice that we've spoken about, trying to improve on.
Last question in the live section for Darren.
Hey Simon, how's it going? Stuart McCluskey ruled out for this weekend. Can you talk about his kind of presence in the camp and what type of character he is around the pit?
Stu's been brilliant. Like he's spent a lot of time in camp and not got opportunities. He's never wavered. He's trained unbelievably well when he's been asked to play in the opposition role, and I think we're all really gutted for him that he picked up another injury on the weekend to rule him out of this week. So I think that competition at centre has always been strong. Now with Tom coming in and being able to add a mix at 12 and 13 as well, and then you've got Fralls that could play 12. Jamie Osborne obviously injured, but another player that could play in that position. I think we've got a pretty strong group of players around that 12-13 area, and Stu has added a huge amount across the last couple of years, sometimes not getting opportunities but never failing to turn up and prepare the players who do get starts. And credit to him that he's got the opportunity and he's played well, but unfortunately injuries happen and he just needs to go back and play well for Ulster. But I think he's impressed everyone the way he's gone.